Meth Psychosis. Boy, do I got all kinds of stories for this. Y'all are in for a real treat. Stay tuned. So let me take y'all back to a good old day in 2004A. I was 18. Like, a lot of my meth psychosis stories come from that genre, that era of time. So we're in Hendersonville, North Carolina, and I'm at a actual, probably the biggest dope house that I lived at, stayed at, drove people around at, did my thing at. You know, I was welcome there, and it was also a house with like a storage building where the dope dealers would live in the storage building. It was a really weird setup because it was like an older couple. They were probably in their 40s. They sold dope, but they would let like the actual plugs live in their storage building, outdoor storage building that they had completely set up to live in. They had power in it, a bed. It was just, you know, a storage building, and you know, you really didn't need the bed. The bed was just there for people to sit on. Anyways, so the story begins. I know it was like winter time. I actually want to say it was New Year's Eve, between 2004 and 2005, but I could be mistaken. I know it was winter time because it was cold outside. And I had been up for way too long, and they were actually cooking in their little back shed back there. They were cooking meth back there. And, you know, everybody was always paranoid whenever they were doing that, and because it was pretty obvious what was going on. If you pulled up there, you would have known something was going on that wasn't supposed to go on, and maybe it was being around it, because you can feel the effects of it when you're around it long enough when they're cooking it. You're getting high off of the rebound or the chemicals that are coming off of it, let alone, you know, doing the dope itself. And I remember walking from the outbuilding to the storage building. Like, their garage was like an outbuilding, and then they had the actual storage building, and it was probably about maybe 20 yards of grass, and it was probably like, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, this dude, I'm not gonna say his name, we'll call him D, comes running out the main house and grabs me, and he's like, they're coming. Okay, a little bit backstory. They have a driveway, a long ass gravel driveway. This house has since been bought and bulldozed. I don't even think it's there anymore. But they have a long gravel driveway, and when you get about maybe 20 yards up the driveway, they've got this big spotlight that cuts on. And you can see it from up at the house. You can see the spotlight come on even though it's through like some woods. So you know when somebody's coming up the driveway. And I just assumed that, you know, I just took off running with the guy, with D. And we take on. This is like, you know, it's out there in the woods. It's in Hendersonville. It's not far from the city, but there are a lot of woods out there too. It's off of, it's over there. I don't know if anyone out there is familiar with Hendersonville. It was right across the road from Mud Creek Baptist Church. So we ran out into the woods, and we're all ducked behind a tree, squatted down, and I start seeing cars pulling up. And I'm pretty sure that there was a car that pulled up, but it wasn't what we were thinking was going on. I started thinking that a bunch of cars pulled up, and that federal agents or law enforcement agents were coming out, and they were sweeping all the area. And, you know, I'm out there freaking out, and instead of taking off running even farther, I just burrow down and start freaking out. And I'm just like watching them, like watching everything that's going on. I'm seeing all these law enforcement agencies, or, you know, cops walking around. And what was crazy about it was we both seen the same thing. And, you know, I'm thinking that people are up in the trees and stuff, like they were sitting there watching us. So I'm all looking up in the trees and seeing people, like up in deer stands and stuff. And and thinking that they're law enforcement too. I'm sure that the people in the trees weren't even real. I had just been up way too long. So we stay out there until probably about an hour later, and then the big dope dealer, we'll call him KG, comes out there and starts yelling for me because he needs for me to drive him somewhere. And it was like once that happened, it snapped me back into reality, and I went up there like all sketched out, you know, kind of walking between trees and stuff. And I was like, where did they go? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, wasn't there just a bunch of cops up here? He's like, was there a bunch of cops up here? I didn't fucking see them. And he started flipping out. Don't tell me there's fucking cops up here. Dude, where the fuck are they? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, they were just right here. There was a bunch of fucking cops here. And he's like, dude, I just came out here and saw somebody, and there were no fucking cops out here. Where the fuck did you see some cops at? And me and D started explaining to him, like, dude, the fucking cops were here. There were cops up in the fucking trees. And then KG just looks at us, because I guess he was a little bit more sane-minded than we were. And he was like, y'all have been up way too entirely long. And, you know, this this was actually the first time that I ever did Dilaudid, because he's like, y'all need to go to sleep. And we did some Dilaudid, and it made me so sick. I don't know. I drove him somewhere, even though I'd been up for so long. I drove him somewhere, and I remember being in a parking lot. We were waiting on somebody to get there. And I think it was in the Ingalls parking lot, because it was 24 hours back then. And I just remember constantly puking, and KG being like, dude, you have got to fucking chill. You are going to get the cops over here for real. Out here puking. They're going to think you're out driving drunk and shit. And I still remember, like, us going bickering back and forth about the dumb shit. And I think he drove home, drove us back to his house. And I started freaking out again. Once we got in his house, I started, you know, seeing like headlights and flashlights and stuff in the windows, and kept looking out the window. And KG's like, man, if you don't chill the fuck out, I'm gonna make you leave, dude. This shit ain't cool, you know. And so I kind of like forced myself to calm down. I think somebody gave me something. It was like probably a benzo or something that finally, you know, got me to chill out and go to sleep. But that was a pretty intense situation that I almost caused an even worse situation by them thinking, by the big dope dealers thinking that I had seen cops up there, or scaring them. You know, he got pissed, talking about, you know, you don't talk about the fucking cops when they're cooking fucking meth unless they're really fucking there. And, you know, it was just crazy how me and the other guy, D, saw the fucking same shit. Anyways, that's another crazy meth psychosis story. If y'all like stuff like that, please hit the thumbs up, y'all. Share this everywhere. Give me some more support, y'all. I appreciate everyone that is rocking with me. Until next time, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about my intros and my outros and stuff. I'm not putting nothing extra on this. I'm just gonna upload this video as it is. So yeah, y'all let me know what you think.